Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1990's Represent. We are now in our first cycle of 1994, starting off with an album like we always do at the beginning of these cycles. And this week we're talking about Smash by the Offspring. Little quick fact about this episode is according to my notes, this marks the 100th episode of this Represent series. We started with 1998 Represent, and we've done, I think this is our 13th episode of 1990s Represent, so total combined episodes now. This marks episode 100. 13, episode 13 of the 1990s series, though, but overall 100, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, today we're talking about Smash by the Offspring. Absolutely love this record. Picked up this album, I want to say, in 1995 from the recommendation of a friend of mine, based on the track 3, which is Bad Habit, because it's basically all about road rage. It's a pretty cool song overall. Road rage is not a good thing, but the song is awesome. I got some notes here about the album. We're gonna go through those. But yeah, this is a classic, just punk rock album. Like I said, picked it up in 1995 and still listen to it many times. I listened to it just a couple days ago to get ready for this video as well. So let me just pull up our notes here. All right, cool. So we're again Smashed by the Offspring. First release April 8th, 1994. This, I guess, is technically, I think it's their second full-length album, but their third overall release, because they did in 1991 they did an EP entitled Baghdad. I think it's 4 tracks. Then in 1992 they did Ignition, and then 1994 we got Smash. And like I said, picked this up on the recommendation of a friend of mine. I remember seeing the music video for Come Out and Play when it came out in 1994. And then eventually picked up the album on my friend's recommendation. And then I think they eventually did 2 more music videos, one for Self-Esteem and one for Gotta Get Away. This is, at least according to my research, still, I think this is still supposed to be accurate, but the best-selling album from an independent record label. So it was released off of Epitaph, and it sold incredibly well, and I think it still holds that record for being the best, best independent label released album as far as sales go, which is pretty cool. This is also Epitaph Records' first gold record. It peaked at number 4 on the Billboard 200, which I think is pretty cool because it's, like I said, it's an independent record. So the fact that it got that high with from basically a much smaller record company is, that I think, just a testament to how awesome this album is. Apparently the budget on this album was only $20,000. And I think a little bit of my research reading that the band would call record studios and basically go there when there was nobody else in the studio, just so they were able to get a less expensive or lower rate to use the studio. Probably the biggest tracks on this album are obviously Come Out and Play, Gotta Keep Them Separated. That track is awesome. And then Self-Esteem, Gotta Get Away also had a music video, but those 3 songs all had music video. So Gotta Get Away had a music video. And that one was a pretty disturbing music video from what I remember. It was I think it was black and white. Had a guy going into a metal, or a punk rock show. And there's he's kind of freaking out. He's got a lot of mental issues going on. And basically, I think the end of the music video, you see him there's a mosh pit forming, and he gets hit up in the mosh pit, and then you just see him lying on the ground. Everybody's gone, and he's just lying on the ground, in a fetal position in this arena. And I think it was supposed to imply that the guy got killed in the mosh pit. So music video just goes really hard. The Self-Esteem music video is really good as well. And then obviously Come Out and Play. I think my favorite track on this is Self-Esteem. Self-Esteem is just it's an amazing track. It might get a little overshadowed by "Come Out and Play" because I think that's the song people kind of like most associate with this album. Not necessarily with just the Offspring in general. I think they've put out a bunch of other albums since this that have also had songs that like kind of are once if you think of the Offspring, you think of like "Pretty Fly for a White Guy" and songs like that. But obviously, those three songs and music videos are amazing. I said we got music videos for that. One really cool thing about this album is in 1995 when I first played Doom. Like I said, I like in the previous episode we talked about. I think it was like Computer Gaming World or Computer Life or something. It had a demo CD that included the first episode of Doom on it, like the shareware version. And this was the same year we first got a CD-ROM in our CD-ROM drive in our. It was a Windows 3.1. I think it was actually 3.11. 3.1 was so Windows for work groups computer, and it had like again we put a CD-ROM into that computer. We upgraded the operating system at some point, and I would use this Offspring CD, as my custom soundtrack to Doom. So I would basically just be blasting this while I was blasting like zombies and demons and all that kind of stuff in Doom. Years later, like I think like it was 2004, I got an Xbox, an OG regular Xbox, and one of the first games, like I basically bought it mostly with the intention of playing Halo 2, but one of the first games I picked up for it was Burnout 3. Burnout 3 is like it's obviously not a 90s game, but it's still an amazing racing game. And the Xbox had the option to, you could basically rip CDs to the Xbox's hard drive. And some games had the option to use custom soundtracks, and Burnout 3 was one of those games. So I would use this album again as my soundtrack to Burnout 3, mostly because of the song Bad Habit, which is all about road rage. So that song seemed to go perfectly with the whole concept of Burnout 3, which is you're racing, you're crashing, you're trying to get takedowns by crashing other cars. So this album went perfectly with that. It came out to some, I think, pretty good reviews. So I'm going to pull up. There's only, let's see here, professional ratings on this album. So AllMusic gave it a 4 out of 5. Rolling Stone Album Guide gave it looks like a 3.5 out of 5. So not great there. But I think in retrospect, it had some other very high marks from a lot of other magazines and publications. It sold pretty well. So Australia, it was rated gold in Australia, rated gold in Canada, gold in the United States, and I think it's went on to go. Oh, sorry, that was. Let me see. Actually, bring up Smash. That was actually the one for Ignition, but Smash's reviews are actually much better. So yeah, so Smash. Sorry, those reviews were actually for the research I was looking at. Ignition, so I had that page loaded up. But AllMusic gave it looks like a 4.5 out of 5, 4 stars from the Chicago Tribune, B minus from Entertainment Weekly. Rolling Stone again 3 out of 5, so that was still the same. The Rolling Stone Album Guide gives it a 4 out of 5, and then a 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5 from Sputnik Music, as well as a 7 out of 10 from Spin, the Spin Record Guide. But Went Gold has a lot of platinum records. Let me see what the actual sales figures were. If I can actually pull up the sales figures. Yeah, so United States sales figures, we'll just go with those. 6x platinum, so looks like 6.3 million copies sold in just the United States. So yeah, Ignition is pretty good, but like I think this to me, Smash is probably their overall best album. It's definitely the one that I'm the most nostalgic for. I have the best memories of listening to with my friend and using it. Like I said, using it as a soundtrack to Doom and stuff like that. But we're going to go up to our track listing here. So it's about 46 minutes in length. It's 14 tracks. Some of those tracks are these little interludes that I'm not sure who's doing them, but it's somebody who's like the first track you put it on. He's like, kick off your shoes and relax. Grab a cup of wine. Put this record on, or this compact disc on your favorite record, and like he's like, even music can soothe the savage beast. And like that guy shows up, like those little like interstitial bits show up periodically throughout the album. But track 1 is Time to Relax. That's the introduction. That's like 25 seconds. Track 2 is Nitro Youth Energy. Track 3 is Bad Habit. One of my favorite tracks on the album. There's a whole part where he's like, it's like complaint cease when they see my piece. When I flash my piece, it's like something's odd. Feel like I'm God. I can't really say the rest of the lyrics on this video because it'll get censored. But this bit of like being like a 14-year-old kid or 15-year-old kid listening to that line, it's like this is really awesome. Even though it's like just a guy cussing, but it was still cool. So yeah, so track 3 was Bad Habit. Track 4 is Gotta Get Away. Track 5 is Genocide. That's also a really good track. Track 6 is Something to Believe in. Track 7 is Come Out and Play, so gotta keep them separated. Track 8 is Self-Esteem, so it goes right from Come Out and Play right into Self-Esteem, and like you could argue, I think, between what is better. I prefer Self-Esteem slightly more than Come Out and Play, but they're both excellent tracks. Track 9 is It'll Be a Long Time. Track 10 is Killboy Powerhead. And apparently that's actually a cover from a band called The Digits. I think I knew that covering when I covered this album for my Essential Album video last year. So I listened to it last year and then listened to it again recently. Track 11 is What Happened to You. Track 12 is So Alone. Track 13 is Not the One. And then track 14 is Smash. And that is like almost 3 minutes long. The whole track length is 10 minutes long, but it's got a lot of kind of just empty air and silence, and then it comes out to I think a few different drum beats, and the end is the kind of instrumental beat to Come Out and Play. So that one is like a 10-minute long song, and it just basically you play it, and it basically plays Smash and goes silent for a while, and then it picks up that kind of secret hidden track there as well. But yeah, this has been the Smash by the Offspring. Again, our first episode or first video for our first cycle through 1994. That's going to do it for this video. We'll be back again in a few days. We'll be covering a 1994 movie, and then immediately after that, we'll be doing a 1994 video game. But again, that's going to do it for now. So remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.